On April 19th, the first ever robot half-marathon took place in Beijing. As the starting gun fired, 20 robot teams powered up and embarked on the 21-kilometer challenge. But the race was filled with mishaps, leaving spectators and those following the event stunned. Some robots lost their head mid-race, others collapsed at the start, some spun in circles, and others fell down with cramps. The only beautiful lady robot, Huanhuan, malfunctioned right at the start and was forced to leave. The competition attracted 20 robot development teams from Beijing, Shanghai, Guangdong, Ningxia, and other regions, including major industry players such as Tiangong Ultra, Huanhuan Robot, and Unitree Robotics G1. Although these 20 robots moved forward throughout the race, they continuously stumbled and fell along the way.
It's over. The head broke and fell off.
The robot, One World Kid, lost its head in the last 100 meters, and the head rolled around on the ground. The staff quickly picked it up, and without fixing the head, they sent the headless robot forward. The highly anticipated Unitree Robotics fell at the start, but after struggling to get up, it managed to wave at the audience and continue running. The Unitree Robotics G1 ultimately did not finish the race. A robot dressed as a woman, Huanhuan, took tiny steps forward, but after just a few steps, its legs gave way, and it collapsed to the ground, unable to get up again. One robot named Shen Nong from Huazhong University of Science and Technology went completely out of control, crashing into nearby facilities. This robot was eliminated right after the start. In fact, the Shen Nong fan-assisted robot performed quite well, as it at least made it past the starting line before crashing into a wall. Another competitor struggled to move forward after running in place for quite some time, and was eventually carried off the starting line by engineers for on-site repairs. Some robots were even pulled by engineers using a leash, which caused laughter from the crowd, as one spectator remarked, "Feels like walking a dog." One robot, resembling a transformer, spun 360 degrees before breaking into pieces. Less than a half of the participating robots even managed to complete half of the course. In the end, only 6 robots made it onto the official completion list, with a success rate of about 30%. After intense competition, Tiangong Ultra, developed by Shenzhen UB Tech Robotics and Beijing Humanoid Robot Innovation Center, crossed the finish line in 2 hours and 40 minutes. It won the Humanoid Robot Half-Marathon event. Even though Tiangong Ultra maintained a lead throughout the race, it fell at the 17-kilometer mark. Additionally, Tiangong Ultra had to change its batteries 3 times during the race. This highlights the ongoing challenges with battery life and endurance in Chinese humanoid robotics, as current battery technology and thermal management systems have yet to meet the demands of long-distance tasks. Some robots even required human assistance to run alongside, or were pushed back to the finish line in wheelchairs. The event highlighted significant flaws in humanoid robots' movement control, joint durability, and energy management in complex environments. Some teams equipped their robots with shoes to increase friction, reduce vibrations, and minimize wear on their feet and joints. For example, the N2 robot from the Whirlwind Kid team, being smaller in size, wore modified children's shoes as running shoes. While it's unclear whether the robot was comfortable, at least the shock absorption effect was achieved. Running also wore out the robot shoes quickly, with some robots wearing out 4 pairs in just 20 days of training. To deal with high temperatures, some teams used umbrellas to shield their robots, while others directly sprayed cooling agents. The robot marathon revealed major industry issues. For those observing from an investment perspective, the event marked the birth of the bubble in the robot industry. In their view, even the leaders in the race were still far from truly functional humanoid robots, with many marathons still ahead before reaching that level. The robot marathon was uploaded to the Douyin platform, where it was ridiculed by countless people online. Chinese humanoid robot technology is truly lacking. This is something I just can't understand. Is a remote-controlled robot still called a robot? Shouldn't that be called a child's toy? The robot's head fell off while running. It seems that running really is a sport where robots can lose their heads at any moment. Are those robots running backwards trying to save fuel? They can't run a marathon like this? Truly eye-opening. And they're still way ahead? They've talked so big and fallen so hard. 90% of the investments in recent years have been wasted. They still think they can overtake on a curve? Meanwhile, Japan next door has already developed a 4-legged motorcycle that can carry people and mimic animals jumping over obstacles without considering the terrain. The chips must be defective. Robot concept stocks are probably going to drop on Monday. One person sarcastically remarked, "Turns out the one leading is the robot that had a stroke. If you don't have any elderly at home, you can still get one of these robots to take care of them." On X platform, Mr. Luo Xiang shared his thoughts after watching the humanoid robot half-marathon. He highlighted a few interesting points. He said, "It turns out the Chinese robot companies are the best at film production. The humanoid robots made in China not only don't cause unemployment, but actually create jobs. Each humanoid robot requires at least 2 people to take care of it. Only in a powerful country can they turn artificial intelligence into artificial stupidity, and they still dare to show their faces." Due to the shocking performance of Unitree robotics on the race course, they had to release a statement. On April 19th, Unitree Robotics issued a public clarification, saying that the company had not registered for the race as it was fully focused on preparing for its humanoid robot combat live streaming event. The Unitree Robotics G1 that participated in the race was purchased by a customer and equipped with the company's self-developed algorithm. People online weren't buying it. They compared the smooth and fluid videos of the Unitree robots dancing and punching with the ones from the marathon, where the robots struggled to walk, often falling, and people had to hold remote controls, while others nearby were ready to assist. The contrast was too stark. In the comment section of several videos, people flooded the threads with comments like, "After watching the marathon video, I feel like Unitree Robotics has been overrated. Human robotics." At the start of the year, humanoid robots became a nationwide sensation in China after being showcased during the 2025 CCTV Spring Festival Gala, where the robot performed a dance, its movements smoother and more natural, leading some viewers to suspect it was AI-generated footage. This robot came from Unitree Robotics in Hangzhou. Soon after, Unitree Robotics H1 and G1 humanoid robots went on sale online in China, drawing attention from the public. Meanwhile, Chinese state media has ramped up promotion of China's achievements in robot technology. So, is this widely publicized event just for show? A robotics expert at Bonn University, Professor Maren Benowitz, mentioned that such competitions indeed test the actual capabilities of humanoid robots. It's not just about hardware. The software must enable the robot to perceive its surroundings and react appropriately, whether it's terrain or surrounding competitors. But some experts believe the event was primarily symbolic. An applied mechanics professor at the Technical University of Munich, Professor Daniel Rixen, said that, "In my opinion, the half-marathon in Beijing is clearly a PR stunt to demonstrate China's technological excellence. There are many challenges to having a humanoid robot compete in a half-marathon. It must be energy efficient, high performance, and capable of dynamic navigation over long distances without falling. Precise motion planning and balance control are crucial." In addition to this marathon, the Unitree robot failure is not an isolated incident. For example, on March 20th, 2025, during a robot demonstration event, a dramatic scene unfolded. A Unitree robot suddenly collapsed and failed to get up, making movements resembling a tantrum, repeatedly swinging its limbs. The staff then dragged the robot off the stage by its legs, with the robot not regaining its ability to move autonomously during the process. At the time, people joked that the robot's performance looked like a human baby throwing a tantrum. Many others questioned the maturity of the robot technology, believing that malfunctions expose reliability issues in the practical application of current bionic robots. For example, on December 24, 2024, at a trade show in Nanjing, Unitree H1 malfunctioned during its demonstration. The video showed the robot trying to stand, then falling and convulsing. Behind the booth, a large screen displayed promotional videos showcasing the robot's agile movements, such as jumping and climbing stairs, which stood in stark contrast to its real-life performance. One person commented, "In the official Unitree video, the robot is climbing mountains and crossing rivers. It almost looks like it's flying." A reply under the comment said, "Well, not quite. I only thought humans could get cramps. Turns out robots can too." The Chinese humanoid robot industry is severely bubble-prone, with products being highly homogenized. Leading Chinese companies like UB Tech Robotics, Unitree, Lezhu, Lanxing Technology, and CloudMinds still have a long way to go technologically compared to Boston Dynamics. A video posted by a user on X shows that Boston Dynamics' next-generation humanoid robot, Atlas, can walk, run, crawl, breakdance, and even perform somersaults. In contrast, the robots participating in the Beijing Marathon walked like they had suffered a stroke, though they were quite amusing. Compared to Chinese robots, industry experts believe that American companies such as Tesla, Boston Dynamics, and Figure AI lead the way in robot AI technology innovation. Currently, China's robot industry is filled with exaggerated advertising and bubbles. Many technologies are overly hyped, making it difficult for the public and investors to distinguish between reality and fantasy. This 21-kilometer humanoid robot marathon in China is like the needle that pops the bubble. On the track, robots either frequently needed battery changes or fell clumsily due to poor movement control. The technological myths, once boosted by companies and public opinion, quickly collapsed under real-world tests. The competition was more like a technology showcase. Against the backdrop of boosting the domestic economy and intensifying technological competition with the United States, the Chinese government is vigorously promoting the development of artificial intelligence and robotics. China has recently established new guiding funds to push forward the development of the robot industry. The authorities have approved a $135 billion national fund, focused on promoting robotics, AI, and other cutting-edge innovations. With the support of the government, China's robot industry has become one of the hottest fields this year. Numerous domestic startups have flocked to the sector, making it a popular focus for primary market financing. As is well known, in the robot startup field, capital is one of the biggest barriers. Hardware development requires significant investment. Algorithm optimization also needs funding, and even supply chain management is no exception. Data shows that as of March 29th, there have been 102 financing events in the robotics sector this year, far exceeding the 75 events during the same period last year. Among these, more than 20 financing events involved humanoid robots, compared to fewer than 10 at the same time last year. On March 30th, Chinese investment mogul Zhu Xiaohu shared his investment strategy in an interview, offering his insights on popular sectors such as AI and robotics. He dropped a bombshell by stating that they were gradually exiting humanoid robotics companies, and while there is a consensus around robots, their commercialization remains unclear. Mr. Zhu remarked, "Especially humanoid robots. I often joke that now every humanoid robot can do somersaults, but where's the commercialization? Who would be willing to spend hundreds of thousands to buy a robot to do work?" Mr. Zhu's criticism is particularly sharp, directly pointing at the industry's pain points. Given the current market price of humanoid robots, ordinary consumers find them unaffordable, and the market demand envisioned by companies has yet to be effectively realized. The commercialization application scenarios remain unclear, and the industry foundation is relatively weak, yet these factors have attracted significant attention from capital investment. At a time when opinions are divided, Zhu offered a different perspective, issuing a warning about the industry's bubble. His comments acted like a bucket of cold water, sending a chill down the spines of many entrepreneurs. Mr. Zhu's company, GSR Ventures, invested in several robotics firms in November 2023 and March 2024, including companies specializing in embodied AI like Noetix Robotics, Galaxea AI, and Starlord Robotics. About a year later, GSR Ventures chose to exit all of these investments. Mr. Zhu stated that the hype around embodied intelligence is too high, and it will definitely go through a bubble phase. Only after rational thinking and identifying the true commercial value will the industry move forward in a healthy development stage. From a rational standpoint, Mr. Zhu's concerns are not without merit. Humanoid robots are currently at the forefront, with capital, startups, and major companies rushing in, but products that are highly aligned with market demand have yet to appear. In addition to Mr. Zhu, other industry insiders have also poured cold water on the robot industry. At the 2024 Performance Communication meeting, Zhou Jian, the founder of the first humanoid robot-listed company, UB Tech, openly expressed that the humanoid robot industry is currently filled with a restless atmosphere. Many robots are focused on dance, somersaults, and other performance actions, deviating from the development direction of practical applications. He called on the industry to return to its technological roots and focus on solving real-world problems. Despite the widespread promotion of humanoid robots in China, there is still considerable debate over their actual feasibility in practical applications. Managing director at Goldman Sachs, Jacqueline Du, believes that Unitree robots have three major shortcomings. 1. The H1 humanoid robot can walk, dance, and has robust hardware performance with strong autonomous balance capabilities, but it only has 19 degrees of freedom, limiting its ability to handle complex and delicate tasks. 2. In terms of commercialization progress, it will be difficult to achieve the same efficiency as human workers in the next 2 to 3 years. Meaningful applications may not appear for another 5 to 10 years. Currently, the shipment volume is only in the hundreds, primarily meeting the needs of laboratories and other similar applications. 3. Unitree Robotics also demonstrated its GO2 robotic dog, showcasing its leading technology in robotic dog gait control algorithms, with a global market share of 60 to 70%. The company has successfully equipped the robotic dog with a large language model API, enabling voice control capabilities, but this model still lacks full autonomous operational capabilities. In contrast to Mr. Zhu's harsh remarks, Goldman Sachs believes there are still opportunities in humanoid robot investments at this stage, but the focus should be on the supply chain and component sectors rather than robot companies, as the robot ecosystem is still in the process of development. The rapid development of humanoid robots in China has indeed attracted global attention. British neuroscientist Nicholas Wright said that the widespread adoption of robots is likely to happen in the near future, but it may fail in the end. He said the practical abilities of these robots may be much lower than we hope. There are still many possibilities regarding how and at what speed this adoption can happen. An analyst at the market research firm Gartner, Bill Ray, believes that while these robots are eye-catching, their practicality is limited. He's more optimistic about wheeled multifunctional robots with material handling capabilities.